folks, it's JR. Welcome back for another episode of Echoes of Shannon Street Case File. This is going to be episode 12, Use the Phone. Well, I'll listen to a little clip from Vernell Stepter. He was one of the negotiators at Shannon Street. After that, then we'll get into a conversation between the dispatcher and Lindberg Sanders. Got a couple of pages, then the negotiators will actually take over.
It was all about the politicians. They wouldn't let the police department do their job. The Mayor Hackett was an interim mayor. It was election year. He's the reason that the response was so slow.
All right, it's a picture of Lieutenant Shotwell. He was one of the negotiators at Shannon Street back in 1983. I was working for Lieutenant Shotwell the time this picture was taken in the early 90s. I was on the Delta shift. You've got page and a half, 2 pages, dispatcher and Sanders still talking on the radio. After that, we're going to go into the negotiators dealing with Lindberg Sanders. We'll get to see some of their paperwork that they fill out, and that will carry us through this episode here. Page 8, tape number 3, side number 2, date. It says 1/1/83. That should be 1/11 of 83. Sanders, I want WLOK to talk to whoever I told you to talk to. Dispatcher, okay, is Mr. Morgan talking to you on that other one? Sanders, you don't hear me talking to me, do you? Dispatcher, I can hear a radio in the background. Sanders, inaudible. Dispatcher, okay. Sanders, y'all get quiet. Y'all got quiet, excuse me. Dispatcher, we are trying to get in touch with Mr. Morgan now. We went down to the radio station. He was not there. He had already left the station. We are trying to get in touch with him now. Is there anyone else you want to talk to? Sanders, just a lie, motherfucker. You're a motherfucker. Dispatcher, I didn't hear that last one. Sanders, talk to me, do you? You won't do it my way, do you? Dispatcher, yes, sir, I sure do. Mr. Morgan is not here. He's not there at the radio station. Sanders, radio station still there? Inaudible. Dispatcher, I don't know. Do you hear Mr. Morgan on the radio? Sanders, oh, he is on the radio. Inaudible. Dispatcher, that is what we had a squad car go down there to see if he was there. He is not there. We are trying to get Mr. Morgan. Sanders, inaudible. Shit. I tell you what, I'll tell you to do now. Inaudible. Dispatcher, no, we went down to the radio station. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Mr. Morgan is not there, and we are on the way to his house right now trying to find him. Can you talk to anybody else at WLOK? Sanders, no, you better do the way I told you. Just get in touch with Mr. Morgan. This is the only somebody I told you to get in touch with. And I'm almost sure if he is in Memphis, Tennessee, and y'all want to do the right thing, cause inaudible, this motherfucking town, ain't he? You lied. You old inaudible motherfuckers. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Got the one in the room. You, the one to lose. You want to make me? Then laughs. I know him. I don't know whether you know him, and I don't know whether you think what you say or not. But inaudible. All the motherfucker are going to home right now. Inaudible. And you too, lying motherfucker. Dispatcher, okay, Mr. Morgan is not at the radio station. Can he call you by phone from his house? Sanders. You have me listen to Mr. Morgan and inaudible. Listen to Mr. Morgan in Memphis, Tennessee needs to listen to Mr. Morgan and him too. Page 9, tape number 3, side number 2, date 1/11/83. Dispatcher. He is all hooked up with us now. He is almost hooked up with us now. Dispatcher. Okay, talk now. WLOK is listening to you. Sanders. Let me speak to Mr. Morgan. I don't hear him. Dispatcher. Okay, Mr. Morgan on the radio. Sanders. Mr. Morgan. Dispatcher. Okay, we have got the officer at Mr. Morgan's house. He is trying to talk to you on the radio now. We are still trying to get Mr. Morgan. We have got someone from WLOK on the radio with us right now. Go ahead and talk to them. Mr. Morgan will be with us in a few minutes. Sanders. Y'all got that fucked up real bad, don't you, motherfuckers? Inaudible. WLOK. Sanders. Let me speak to Mr. Morgan. WLOK. Inaudible. Sanders, do what? Dispatcher. Mr. Sanders from WLOK is trying to talk to you now. Sanders. Mr. Who? Dispatcher. I think he said his name was Sanders. WLOK. Tabor's on the radio right now. Sanders. Get on that radio and talk to me right now. Tape ends here. Time 21:21 hours. Date 1/11/83. Cover page. Negotiation tapes. Negotiators include Walter Cruz, Jeff Larkin, Stanley Shotwell, Vernell Stepter, J.D. Douglas. Civilians include Thomas, brother to Lindberg Sanders, George, an old man, good friend of Lindberg Sanders, Shelton, also good friend of Lindberg Sanders. These pages include all talking that transcribed between negotiators and command post, all actions that were taken including setting up boom mic, have utilities cut off, and directions to what course to take in as far as what was said to Lindberg Sanders. These 18 pages cover 90 pages, typewritten. Memphis Police Department hostage negotiation form. Chronological order. Type incident, hostage situation. Location, 2239 Shannon. Date time, January 11, 1983, 10 p.m. Duty Commander, Chief Inspector S.L. Cole. Prepared by Officer Mark Poffenroth. IBM number 6673. Officer A.J. Torrance. IBM number 8784, Negotiators. Sergeant Cruz Walter, number 2, Officer Larkin, TJ. 3, Officer Dunlap, Clark. Number 4, Officer Stepter, V. Number 5, Officer Shotwell, SL. Time, January 11th, 83, 21:50 hours. Incident. Lieutenant R.O. Parker and M.A. Poffenroth arrive at Hollywood and Hurd. J. Larkin is already on the scene. 22:08. Negotiators set up intact command post van at Shannon and Boxwood. MPD dispatcher Jim Weichert is talking to Mel Black on a police radio using the north frequency. 22:15. Weichert still talking to Mel Black. 22:19. Communications notified command post that Officer Dwyer is at WLOK radio station with C.J. Morgan, disc jockey. 22:20. TAC unit supervisor notifies TAC officer to start the 11-7 shift to scene as they come into work. 22:24. Walter Cruz begins negotiation with Mel Black on police radio. 22:25, Mel Black, identified as Lindberg. He demands to talk with Morgan of WLOK radio. Cruz stalls. 22:23, Lindberg says it's over now. 22:30, Cruz asked to talk to hostage. Also asked Lindberg for his phone number. Still trying to make contact by phone. Negotiations continue by radio. Page 1, tape number 4, side number 1. Start 21 hours. That's 9:21 p.m. Foxtrot 1 North. That's the North Precinct's primary radio channel, which has been cleared of all police traffic. They're all on an alternate channel. Date 1/11/83. Dispatcher. Okay, Sam Tabor is on the radio. Talk to him. Sanders. Wait till I turn inaudible. WLOK. WLOK is on right now. You got WLOK right now. Sanders. I don't want to talk to no motherfucking dog. Inaudible. Dispatcher. You are talking to Tabor right now. CJ is on his way. You can tell me I can talk with you about anything. Sanders. We are on the radio now. Hey, mister. You're not talking with me from WLOK. WLOK. We are talking to you from WLOK right now. Sanders. We ain't on the radio. Are we on the radio right now? Are you listening to me on the radio now? Inaudible. Can I talk to you on the radio? Inaudible. Fucking pig. Folks over there. Inaudible. Stand for bullshit. Inaudible. I can hear you now. Remember how you were playing the news for today? Inaudible. The first one you played this morning was inaudible, wasn't it? Officer. Mr. Sanders. Sanders. Get away from here. Cruz. My name is Cruz. I'm a police negotiator. Can you talk to me on the radio for a minute? Sanders. Sure can. Cruz. How's the officer doing in there? Sanders. Inaudible. Cruz. I didn't hear you. You cut yourself out. Come back again, please. Sanders. I want to talk to WLOK. That is who I want to talk to now. Cruz. We're trying to get in touch with them. It is late at night. Got to give us a few minutes, okay? Sanders. Inaudible. Cruz. I can't hear you, Lynn. Man. Sanders. You can hear me now. Inaudible. Cruz. Okay, Lynn. Okay, Lynn. Sanders. Inaudible. Motherfucker. They shooting and growling. Cruz. We don't want any shooting now. Sanders. Inaudible. I didn't hear what you said, Lynn. Can you speak a little slower? Page 2. Tape number 4. Sign number 1. Date 1/11/83. Sanders. Inaudible. Cruz. Lynn, how about letting that officer come outside? Sanders. I am going to blow this motherfucker's brains out if you don't get your shit together. Cruz. What do you want us to do, Lynn? Sanders. You are still trying to play tricks. Cruz. We aren't trying to play tricks. I just come on the radio and I don't know what you want. Sanders. To talk to Mr. Morgan. Inaudible. Listen to the radio and you are talking too. Tell them. Talk to somebody else too. Cruz. Okay, Lynn, I am talking to you on the police radio, not the plug-in radio or the table radio, okay? Did you hear what I said, Lynn? Sanders. Y'all are fucked up real bad, ain't you? You're not going to do like it is supposed to be done. Cruz. Inaudible. Sanders. Like nothing. Cause you, inaudible, you are going to fuck up and get blowed away. Now get your goddamn ass back, ain't you? Inaudible. Just fuck up, ain't you? Inaudible. You ain't going to fuck up this time, are you? Cruz. What? Sanders. Inaudible. It's all on your own. Cruz. Just a minute now. Talk to me on the police radio. Sanders. I don't want to talk to you. No way. No more. Inaudible. Cruz. Wait just a minute now. What do you mean? What do you want us to do? Sanders, let me talk to Mr. Morgan, inaudible. Cruz, didn't he talk to you on the other radio? Sanders, Mr. Morgan, inaudible. Cruz, I am not playing, Lynn. I am trying to find out who you are talking to on the radio besides me. Someone talking to you in there on the AM radio, Lynn? Sanders, inaudible. Cruz, listen to me, Lynn. We are trying to get it right. But you have got to talk to me so I can understand just exactly what you want. I can understand you. You keep letting go of the button on the radio. Inaudible. Cruz, say it again, Lynn. Page 3, tape number 4, sign number 1, date 1/11/83. Cruz, let me talk to somebody else in that house on that radio that you have, the police radio. Will you please listen to me for a minute? Pick up the police radio and talk to me for a minute. Sanders, yeah. Cruz, we want to talk to you on the telephone. Will you give me your telephone number, Lynn? Give me your telephone number so I can talk to you on the phone so we can keep this conversation thriving. Sanders, inaudible. Sanders, nasty motherfucker, dog face, inaudible. Hester, help, help. Cruz, Lynn, listen to me for a minute. You are breaking up on the police radio. Some of the words you're getting cut off because you are not holding the button in right. Give me your phone number so I can call you on the phone. Then come to the radio for a minute. Sanders, inaudible. Cruz, let the police officer hold the radio. He knows how to work it. Let him hold it for a minute. You can listen to everything that is said. Let him hold it for a minute. Sanders, motherfucker, inaudible. Cruz, he knows how to handle the radio right, Lynn. I can't understand what you are saying. I will talk to you, but he needs to hold the radio. Sanders, inaudible. Cruz, we can't do anything with the radio, Lynn. Let him hold it. Hold the button in so we can talk on it. Sanders, inaudible. Cruz, Lynn, I told you we can't hear anything you are saying. You're not holding the police radio. Let me call you on the phone. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, okay, Lynn, I'm going to call you on the telephone. I want you to answer, okay? My name is Parker, and I am a police negotiator. I want you to answer the phone, okay? Lynn, hang the phone up so we can call you on the telephone, will you? Come back to the radio now and talk to me. Can you hear me on the radio? I will call you on the telephone now. I want you to hang the phone up. Your lines are busy. Hang the phone up and answer the phone when it rings, Lynn. Can you hear me? Hold the button in on the police radio and talk to me. Sanders, motherfucker, inaudible. Parker, Lynn, I couldn't understand. Can't hear you. Lynn, I'm going to call you on the telephone now. I want you to answer the phone when we ring it. The phone should be ringing now. Hang it up, Lynn. Talk to me on the police radio. I want to give you some information. Can you hear me? Page 4, tape number 4, sign number 1, date 1/11/83. Sanders, I ain't talking to you, inaudible. Parker, we tried to get in touch with Mr. Morgan. It is late at night, and it is going to take a while. We can't do it on the spur of the moment. We understand Mr. Morgan has left the studio and we are trying to get in touch with him, Lynn. Can you tell what you wanted, Mr. Morgan? Lynn, your battery is running down in your radio. We need to talk over the telephone. Hang your telephone up or hook it up so I can call you on the phone. Lynn, if you will hang the phone up and let me talk to you on the telephone, you can tell me how I can get in touch with Mr. Morgan. Do you know whether your telephone is working in your house? We want Mr. Morgan to get in touch with you, Lynn. Can you tell me how I can have Mr. Morgan get in touch with you? You have got to talk to me so I can try to help you. You're in a situation we know you don't want to be in, and we don't want to be in it to be in. We will try and work it out with you. We don't want to do it over the radio. It is not private enough and your batteries are going to run down in that radio, but you have got to talk to me so I can try and help you. Now come back on the radio so I can at least know that you hear me. Tell me whether or not the telephone works in your house. Does the telephone work? Can you hear me on the police radio? Sanders, inaudible. Parker, what'd you say, Lynn? Sanders, inaudible. Parker, you've got to hold the button in when you talk. I can't understand you. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, can I call you on the telephone? I can hardly understand you. I still need to know how to get in touch with Mr. Morgan. You are the only one that can tell me the best way. Let me call you on the telephone. Hang your phone up or plug it back up. Sanders, inaudible. Worse and worse. Parker, words, is that what you said? Sanders, I asked you to do something. Inaudible. Parker, I'll do what you asked me to do, but I would like to talk to you about it on the telephone. We are trying to get in touch with Mr. Morgan, and he has left the studio. We are honestly trying to get in touch with him. Don't just give up on us because we haven't been able to get in touch with him on the telephone or the radio. We are trying, and we need your help on it, Lynn. Do you hear that? Listen, you have got to work with me on this thing so we can get in touch with Mr. Morgan and get what you want. But you have got to talk to me on the radio, okay? Sanders, I'm here. I'm still listening to you. Parker, say, okay, Lynn. If you can understand what I said, say okay. I'm listening, inaudible. Too damn long. Parker, okay, Lynn, can I call you on the telephone? Is your telephone out of order or is it just not working tonight? Is it out? Or has it been disconnected by the telephone company? Page 5, tape number 4, side number 1, date 1/11/83. Parker, I can't hear you, Lynn, unless you hold the button in and talk slowly. Now tell me whether or not the telephone company has cut off your telephone. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, still can't understand you. I'm going to try and call you on the telephone again. If the telephone is off the receiver, hang it up for me. Listen to me for a minute. Will you? Get that telephone fixed so we can talk to you on the telephone. Your batteries are getting weak on the police radio and everything you say is breaking up. I can't hardly understand you. I want to work with you now and try to get Mr. Morgan and cooperate with you as best I can so we can bring this thing to a happy conclusion. I want you to help me and work with me. And did you hear what I just said, Lynn? Talk to me, Lynn. You hadn't talked to me in the last few minutes. Now, did you hear what I said? It will be impossible to get Mr. Morgan down here unless you work with me on this thing. You have got to talk with me. Tell me whether or not you heard what I said a minute ago. Lynn, did you hear what I said on the radio just a minute ago? Will you let someone else there with you talk to me on the telephone, the police radio? Listen, someone else talk with me on the radio. I can hardly understand anything you say. Let somebody else talk to me for a minute and you can hear everything that is going on. Can you hear me? Lynn, I have some information about Mr. Morgan for you. I need to talk to you about Mr. Morgan. Come back on the radio. Lynn, can you hear me on the radio? Sanders, inaudible. Y'all want to play. You know, we can stop playing. The officer inside the house. Note, tape number 4, side number 2, start 22:50 hours, which is 10:50 p.m. Finish 23:19 hours, which is 11:19 p.m. Date 1/11/83. Parker, Lynn, I don't know what you said, but we are not playing with you. We are trying to work with you to get what you want. Now you have got to talk to me on the radio so I can do that, Lynn. You waited a long time before you answered me. Talk to me as soon as I talk to you. Sanders, I want to talk to WLOK, inaudible. Hear me now? I heard WLOK Tell me the rest of the message, Lynn. Hold the radio still and hold the button in. Sanders. You won't work right, man. Goddamn inaudible. Parker. Okay, Lynn. I heard you then. Lynn, I heard you. We are trying to get in touch with Mr. Morgan. And when we do, we will get back in touch with you. But you have to work with me on this, Lynn. It's between me and you to get in touch with Morgan. I want to call you on the telephone. Is your telephone line broken? Sanders, inaudible. This motherfucker's head is going off. Goddamn, you won't do it my way. I said I won't do it your way. This motherfucker's head is going off. Inaudible. Parker. Okay, Lynn, I hear what you are saying. I'm trying to work with you on it. No sense in us getting all upset over it. It's going to take a few minutes for us to find Mr. Morgan. Sanders, inaudible. Goddamn shit. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. I don't do a damn thing. Inaudible. Continuation, page 2. Time, 22:40. Incident. Lindberg refusing to answer. 22:41. TAC unit evacuates homes around 2239 Shannon. 22:42. Lindberg says his phone won't work. Line is busy. 22:45. Negotiators ask Lieutenant Ray Turner of Communications to find C.J. Morgan and have him brought to command post. 22:48. Telephone operator advises phone is out of order. 22:51. Lindberg says again he wants to talk to Morgan. 22:53. Lindberg becomes more upset. Lieutenant Turner advises Morgan was located and is en route to command post. 22:55. Cruz asks Lindberg if everyone is okay. Lindberg replies, don't worry about it. Cruz asks Lindberg if Earl, a name from intelligence sources, is in the house. Lindberg's reply is unintelligible. Page 2, tape number 4, side number 2, date 1/11/83, start 22:50 hours. That's 10:50 hours. Parker, you want to talk to Morgan, don't you? We found out Morgan had got off work and had left the studio. We're trying to find out where he is. Do you understand, Lynn? We are looking for Mr. Morgan at this time. Sanders, inaudible. Looking for fuck, motherfucker. Inaudible. Parker, I know you have got a pistol on the man's head. But that is not going to get Morgan here any quicker, Lynn. You understand that? Sanders, inaudible. Goddamn thing about him. Inaudible. Parker, you have got to give us a few minutes to get him here, Lynn. Memphis is a big town, and he is off work, and he has left the studio. We are trying to track him, Lynn. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, I didn't hear what you said there, Lynn. Listen to me for a minute. You know, when we are talking to you, heard Morgan on the radio. He has since gotten off the radio. We are trying to get in touch with him. He left the studio. It's like you or me or anyone going home from work, and we are trying to get in touch with him. And when we do, we will get in touch with you right away. Sanders, motherfuckers, inaudible. Parker, who is in there with you? Is Earl Thomas in there with you? Answer me, Lynn. Is Earl in there with you? Is anybody else in the house? Okay. We know you are not in there by yourself. We want to know if anyone else is okay. Is there anything we can do for any of them? Sanders, don't worry about me. I'm doing your motherfucker. Don't worry about him. Parker, what about you, Lynn? Do you need anything? Lynn, we know you're in charge in there. That's your place, and you're in charge, but you've got to take care of those people in there. And there's other people out here asking about them. Tell me if Ronald is in there with you. Don't matter who is in here with me. Parker, Ronald in there with you, Lynn? Inaudible. You know what? Don't matter, blow your fucking head off, goddamn. Parker, hey Lynn, I thought we weren't playing games. Talk to me like a man. I am talking to you straight. People are asking out here about Earl. That is the only person I was trying to find out about. Can you tell me if Earl is in there with you? Sanders, inaudible. Okay, Earl. Lynn, you still want to talk to Mr. Morgan, is that right? Lynn, you still want to talk to Mr. Morgan, is that right? Sanders, you want to talk to him? Parker, a minute ago you wanted to talk to Mr. Morgan of WLOK, isn't that right? Lynn, don't you still want to talk to Mr. Morgan? I am going to try and call you on the telephone again. Will you answer it if it rings? Lynn, can you hear me? All those people in there, and I can't read that last portion of it. Page 3, tape number 4, side number 2, date 1/11/83. Parker, there is a lot of people out here asking about them. We want to know if everyone in there is okay. Can you tell me? Sanders, I'm inaudible. Parker, can you tell me if all those people are okay, Lynn? People, family are out here asking about them, Lynn. How about doing it for them, okay? Sanders, inaudible. Okay, Lynn, I just want to make sure everyone is okay. I appreciate your letting me know those people in there are okay. You know, you are still in charge in there. We know that. We want to make sure, though, for the sake of those people who are asking and trying to get in touch with us, that all those folks are okay. Can you tell right now, Lynn, if the policeman is okay at this time? Lynn, I missed it. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, I didn't hear but a part of one word. Say it again for me, please. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, Lynn, listen to me. Your batteries are real bad in that radio. You're going to have to talk slower and into that radio where I can hear you, and into the radio. Tell me if the police officer in there is okay. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, Lynn, I still could not hear you, but maybe we can get together in a minute. Sanders, can you hear me? Parker, I can't hear you, Lynn. What did you say? Sanders, I asked, could you hear me? Parker, I can't understand you. Say it again, please. Sanders, inaudible. Parker, can you let someone else talk on the radio who could understand a little bit better? Sanders, inaudible. Blow this motherfucker. Fuck shit. Then he yells. Parker, just a minute now, Lynn. Talk to me. You know you and I can work together on this thing and get it worked out. Don't get upset about anything. Sanders, yelling. I am through with it. Inaudible. Parker, you want me to get Mr. Morgan for you, don't you? Sanders, inaudible. Parker, I am not lying to you, Lynn. Calm down, though. And talk the same way you are talking to me, but you don't have to holler in the radio. I am going to work with you. Well, folks, as you can see, this negotiations are pretty well non-existent. Sanders wants to talk to Morgan and wants to talk to him over the radio. Negotiators don't want to do that because they're pretty well convinced that Sanders is going to execute Hester as soon as he knows that it's being broadcasted over the AM radio through the police radios, so they're trying to avoid that. The issue with the phone's obviously a problem because it is difficult to talk over the radio, especially with the radio Sanders had. The batteries are going down. That he doesn't know how to use that radio properly. You've noticed, but each time the dispatcher or then the negotiators bring up Bobby Hester, Sanders gets upset and starts beating him even worse. There's really not much else that can be done, at least from a negotiator's point of view. Anyways, we will come back here in a few days and we will continue this, what seems to be a one-sided talk between police negotiators and Sanders. And we have some other things that are going to be going on at the same time, and we will get those in as well. Folks, I do appreciate y'all listening in, and we will see you down the road.